Welcome back, everybody. Is my mic working? I believe it is. Thank you guys so much for being here. Today we are talking about Transformers Rise of the Beasts. And this one is directed by Steven Caple Jr., who directed Creed 2, which you guys know how I feel about Creed 2. It does not give the love that it deserves. Steven, if you're seeing this, Creed 2 is the best Creed. I'm here to say it. I love the other two Creeds. They are great in all their own ways. Creed 2 is my favorite simply for the villain arc story. But anyways, enough of me lamenting about somehow the public discourse of Creed 2. We're here to talk about Transformers Rise of the Beasts, which now this has been going on for, what is this, 17 years now? 16 years now? These live-action Transformers movies, and this one we follow Anthony Ramos, who plays Noah Diaz. He's a guy who's down on his luck, who knew? And he runs into Mirage, voiced by Pete Davidson. And turns out they're after another MacGuffin, which is the Transwarp Key. And the Transwarp Key is being hunted by, I'm sorry, the names. Scourge is voiced by Peter Dinklage. I did not know that. That's a good voice. The Maximals are the good guys with the Autobots, but like they're called like Carnotons or something like that. I can't remember. Oh, of course, like there's nothing here. This is a great review so far, don't you guys think? No, what are the new Decepticons? Decepticons, Rise of the Beast. What are they called? What the Terracons. Oh, God. I'm legitimately angry that I could not remember that, and there was no help on Google. So the Terracons, led by Scourge, apparently voiced by Peter Dinklage, you know, good paycheck for him, good for him. And we also are introduced to the Maximals, which are voiced by Michelle Yeoh and Ron Perlman. And those have a special place in my heart, more than like, you know, the Dinocons from Age of Extinction, even though, especially that one, because they're like barely in it. It was basically just like kind of a bait and switch with that one. But that whole Beast Wars was my Saturday morning cartoon. You go back and watch those. It is some of the worst CGI ever. It is so budget. I love it. But seeing, you know, Megatron or whatever his name was in that with like the T-Rex and his Starscream was like a raptor. It was awesome. Love it, love it, love it. Oh, Coleman Domingo is Unicron? It is insane the budget they have for these movies. But we follow Noah Diaz, and the other human lead is Dominic Fishback, who plays Elena Wallace, who is like an ancient not a cartographer, but like an ancient artifact like knower. So she knows all of the like translation and the runes from the Maximals and the Terracons, and she can translate all the codes and everything like that. And they are trying to get the Transwarp Key because Unicron, the Transformer that eats planets, is trying to get to Earth to eat the planet, and his Terracons are trying to give him the Transwarp Key to get there. You know, I kept going back and forth about looking forward to this movie, where, you know, I keep getting my hopes up because I won't lie, the trailers always do look good. The trailers look great for these movies. Bumblebee was a good time. I liked Bumblebee. I think that was mostly just like kind of on the back of John Cena and Haley Steinfeld. The movie was just kind of okay. And so this one I was just like, oh man, they're making another one, because like I don't think Bumblebee did that well. Like it didn't do bad, but I know it didn't do like amazing, you know, like the other Michael Bay ones, you know, for all his flaws, which we could be here for an hour talking about how bad the Michael Bay Transformers are. They make money. They do make money, and that's kind of the worst part about them, is that like you can't argue with success. I mean, Bumblebee made $468 million worldwide on a $135 million budget, so it at least made a profit. I'm curious to see how this one will do, because I don't know, like, are people tired of them? You know, because if it wasn't for A-List and if it wasn't for me doing movie reviews, I probably would have skipped this one. You know, even Fast X, which the Fast and Furious series I like a lot more than Transformers series, and even that one, you know, I still haven't seen Fast X. I need to go see that and do my review for it. But you just get tired after a while, and you know, I've missed some MCU stuff on Disney Plus. Like I watched a little Miss Marvel, but I didn't finish it. I still haven't finished Andor. All these IP things, like they tack up on you. They stack up, and it's tough to, you know, to keep up with all of it. But what I'm saying, I wasn't looking forward to this per se, but I was surprised like how much I did enjoy this movie. It wasn't anything special. There's still all the Transformers things, like I said, the MacGuffin, the humans, like, they were less annoying, and they did a better job of getting them more involved. Like, you don't really need Shia LaBeouf or Megan Fox there. You don't really need Marky Mark there, except to, like, kick off the plot, and then they're just kind of in the way, and Optimus is always like, run, Sam, run! Run, Cade Yeager! That's his actual name. I can't believe I remember that. And they're just kind of like in the way and either getting toasted or like, you know, getting saved at the last minute. But like in this movie, they actually serve a purpose. So that's good. I did like that they do serve a purpose and they're there for a reason. I do like that. Pete Davidson was a surprise for me of how much I liked him as Mirage as well. And I like that because the Michael Bay Optimus Prime is like this bloodthirsty maniac who's always like saying, I'm gonna behead you, I'll rip your heart out, I'm gonna poop down your face and like kill your next of kin as well. It's like this crazy bloodthirsty machine that, yes, people should be afraid of. And they kind of comment on that, like when they meet the Maximals, he's like Optimus Primal, awesome name, is like, he's not the Optimus Prime that I thought he was gonna be. And so like they talk about that and like how beat up Optimus looks, and I like that. There's some other stuff, but that's spoiler stuff, and I'm not going to do any spoilers for this that I did like. There's some good jokes in here. It's a little boring for me in the first part. The opening car chase when Anthony Ramos discovers Mirage. I'm just like, okay. And then there's a big action scene in Peru, and it just kind of starts and then it just kind of ends like really suddenly. And I was just like, oh, it's over. Okay. And it felt like they were really just putting their entire budget into the third act. And the third act is good. The third act is, you know, it is kind of Avengers Endgame, gray, explosions, that kind of stuff. But at least Stephen Cable Jr. does a great job of giving you space. Like there's some good swooping shots in there of seeing all these action take place. But at least like they back the camera up and I can tell where the Autobots are and where the Terrorcons are. And I can tell the difference between them. And I can tell who's fighting who. And so that was an improvement. Because other times it just like did not work like at all. But overall, you know, I would recommend seeing this movie. You know, I saw it for free because of A-List. But I don't know, it's like a waning recommendation for me. I do think this is an improvement from Bumblebee, and this is probably the best Transformers movie, I would say. But that's kind of faint praise for how low the bar is for them, honestly. But yeah, it's the best of a bad situation is what this movie is, for me at least. I did have a good time in it, but I wasn't, you know, it's like I'm still coming down off Spider-Verse. It's a tough week to release a movie after one of the best movies I've seen in a long time. And so I'm not trying to compare those two directly because they're not comparable in any way. But even just like the art direction and the CGI, I was just like, oh yeah, this is what like, you know, normal CGI looks like when it's not cared for 5 years. But, you know, it is what it is. It's not bad. It was a fun time, and I will say it's not 3 freaking hours long like the Michael Bay ones are. Like, condense it, 2 hours, barely 2 hours, loved it. That is the best part. That's the best thing I can say about this. That is 2 hours flat. It could have been 145. I would have been fine with that. But the fact that it's 2 hours and not 245 or whatever the heck Michael Bay was thinking, good for this movie. So yeah, go see the movie, guys. Let me know what you thought. Did you like it more than me? Did you like it more than the other ones? Where does this rank on your Transformers list? If you guys are on Patreon, thank you so much for being here. You guys get this review a few days early. And if you're not, leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you think, guys. Have a great day. Bye.